That lady, Shiloh Hendris, whatever the fuck her name is, done called that little boy a nigga and gonna sit up here and make a GoFundMe to play victim. Girl, ain't nobody harass you, call you out your names, and give you racial slurs. That's crazy to me. And have the audacity to start a GoFundMe. It's gone now. Thank God people reported it. Because people like her, they deserve a bullet. They really do.
Ever since the Shiloh Hendrix story broke, she has been getting compared to Karmelo Anthony. And personally, I think those comparisons need to stop. Now, to be clear, I'm guilty myself of making these comparisons. Because it's easy to make the comparisons when looking at the give, send, goes. And to be fair, when I make the comparison and when a lot of other people make the comparison, we're not comparing the crimes or what one person did and what the other person did. We're just comparing the fact that, hey, here's a crazy story and here's a crazy amount of money being raised. So when I make this comparison and when you see a lot of other people make this comparison, you know, it's innocent. We're just comparing the fact that, hey, they both got these donations that are raking in money. But what I've noticed is that there are a lot of other people, a lot of Karmelo Anthony supporters that are making the comparisons for other reasons. Because you see, they're trying to kind of manipulate people. They're playing mind games, if you will. What they really want to do, they want to basically equate Shiloh Hendrix saying the N-word to Karmelo Anthony stabbing someone, right? When they're making these comparisons, they're not just, oh, look, this person raised money and this person raised money. No, they're comparing it as if what Shiloh Hendrix did is just as bad, if not worse, as what Karmelo Anthony did. What they're really trying to do is say that, hey, Shiloh saying the N-word is just as bad as killing a white child. So that's why I say that we should kind of stop making those comparisons, even though that I know that not everyone who makes the comparisons, that's not what they're trying to do. But that's what Karmelo Anthony supporters are trying to do. That's what a large portion of this community is trying to do. They're basically trying to hammer it in people's heads that saying the N-word is just as bad as taking a life, when it's nowhere even near the same level. Like, you can't even really compare the two. Which is why, even though, yeah, maybe both stories involve a fundraiser, but maybe we, including myself, we should stop making some of these comparisons. Because we don't want to feed into what these people are really trying to do. Now, the little mind games that they're playing, they don't work on me. They don't work on most of you watching this video. But it's clear that it works on a lot of people. That's why we got a lot of people losing their minds over this situation. And speaking of losing their minds over this situation, we've now seen multiple protests, marches, and town halls, but we have still yet to hear from the family of this kid directly. We heard the NAACP read a generic statement. I don't really even trust that. But one thing you can trust is the statement that was just put out by Shiloh Hendrix. She has now put an update out there about how things are going with her, and I thought I would go ahead and read that for you really quickly. Good morning. I would like to take this time to give all our wonderful supporters an update as to what has been happening with my family and myself. This past week has been so very stressful and complicated. We have constantly been on the go, all whilst attempting to remain unseen. My kids are handling things fairly well. Their father and I are trying to make this situation as fun and as stable as possible. We continue to receive hateful threats, harmful threats, but I am confident that we are taking the proper steps in order to remain safe. I refuse to let any harm come to my family. This fundraiser has truly been life-changing. It has given me hope 1 minute and overwhelming panic the next. The not knowing of the future can leave a pit in one's stomach. With that being said, I am glad to announce that we have started receiving our funds. We have a wonderful support team on our side who have been working day in and day out to give us their guidance. Without their help, your donations, and the folks from Give, Send, Go, we would have been lost in the dark. We can now work on starting a new life. I am so grateful for you all. Amazing things can happen when like-minded individuals work together. We have proven just how powerful and great we are. Keep standing up for what is right. Thank you, Shiloh. Well, right off the bat, I am glad that her and her family, they are out of there. Because as I've been reporting, they've been whipping up these protests. They are protesting literally right by where Shiloh used to live, I guess, because now she's on the move. Another thing, everyone just automatically assumed that she was a single mother. I don't know why people automatically assumed that, but they did. And it turns out that she's not. So fellas, it looks like Shiloh is not single. And I've seen other people confirm that already. But here is Shiloh now and her statement confirming that as well. I wonder if people will donate less money now. Some guys are probably like, man, you already got it, man. I'm not donating now. But yeah. So I'm glad to hear that her family's safe and that they kind of got away from where they were, because boy, oh boy, they're really stirring things up right where Shiloh used to live. Now, I will also say, though, that her ending her statement by keep standing up for what's right, that's a little bit of a reach, okay? I gotta be completely honest in these videos. That's a little bit of a reach. Because I would not make the argument that what Shiloh did was right. And I've never made that argument in any of these videos. I don't think that most people are standing with Shiloh because they think she's right in what she said. I think more so people are standing up against what's wrong. As in, people are standing against cancel culture. People are standing against, hey, you act like this word is an excuse to ruin people's life. You know, this word shouldn't have this much power. People are standing against how much money was raised for Karmelo. People are standing against how criminals in a certain community are treated like heroes. And meanwhile, they want us to cancel our own and stuff like that. So I don't know if people are really standing for what's right as opposed to fighting against people who have been standing for what's wrong. I mean, maybe some of you feel differently, but that's how I view the situation. But overall, I mean, I'm just glad that she's out of there. Because if you look at what's been happening in her area over the past few days, they're trying to whip up a hate mob to find her and drag her out of her home. They literally even said, standing on the steps of City Hall, that they're trying to find the woman, that they're trying to find Shiloh. So, yeah, that was some scary stuff. And it goes to show why this money was needed, because they got to get far away. And I don't know how much more we're going to see come out of this situation, because they're really trying to blow this up into something way bigger than what it is. I mean, the fact that we're even still talking about this story lets you know that they've been really blowing things out of proportion. But the recent protests, the march, the city hall meetings, and I'm telling you right now, they are desperately going to try to charge her with something. Do not be surprised if charges are coming, because they've already said that they are looking into it. They already announced that they conducted an entire investigation, and there's a lot of pressure on them right now to charge her with something. So I expect that this story is actually going to get crazier. Some people think that it's time for the story to go away. I don't think we've seen the last of this story. In fact, I do think that we're going to see this story I think we're going to see this story get crazier before it's all said and done with. But maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. If you would like to support the channel, you could do so via Cash App or Super Thanks, or support for free by subscribing and sharing the video. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.